Hi, I'm Callie King from CRK Training. Welcome back to the blog, and our video post today is on bucking. So this is a big issue for a lot of horse owners. I kind of have been getting a lot of questions in it. I've been seeing a lot of things both on the online, the forums and stuff that I participate in, as well as just questions from my own students on, what causes bucking and obviously what can I do to stop it. So first, I just want to kind of say that there are a ton of things that can cause bucking. What I want to go over today are the two that I find are the most common, but there's really a lot of things. So the first thing that you want to rule out is that it's being caused by any kind of pain or discomfort, which is normally caused by the saddle, and that's what we're going to go over. But even sometimes if a horse has pain through his back end, he can buck. Sometimes, the behaviors that we see in horses can come from those things that they're trying to maybe get away from pain, and we just blame it on bad behavior. So first thing to rule out is discomfort that's, that you're putting on your horse. The second thing that we're going to go over is that a lot of times horses buck because they're behind your leg, meaning that they're kind of lazy, they don't want to go forward, and they've learned that bucking is a good way to get out of working and go out of going forward. So that's what we're going to go over today. Some of the other things that can cause it is just excess exuberance. If a horse, say, he comes off a jump, maybe he gets a lead change and he's just really excited and throws a buck. Normally, if for those kind of bucks, I'll just kind of gently correct him. If he's just jumping out of excitement and, because he just got a new move or something, you don't want to punish that. But in the same way, he kind of has to learn that he's got to control it, so I just gently push him through. The best way to ride a buck is to keep your weight back and usually push the horse forward. Normally, when a horse bucks, he's slowing down and he's kind of getting under himself, and if you can push him forward and get him to lengthen, it's the best way to get him out of the buck. So anyway, we'll start with the saddle fit. I'm here with Now today, and she's not the most difficult, or she is a difficult horse to fit a saddle to. But one of the things that you want to look at with saddle fit for bucking is the length of the saddle in comparison to the length of the horse's back. So saddle fit is a whole nother science that we could spend tons of time talking on. But the main thing that I want to show you in relation to the bucking issues is this. So if you see the horse's hair here, is they kind of have this little cowlick by their hip, and how the hair goes down like this. If I move my saddle pad here, you can kind of see where the hair goes down, meets this hair coming over, and the hair kind of is growing straight down like this. So this is a general gauge as to where the horse's last rib is. Now why this is important is because you don't want your saddle going back past this point. If the saddle is back past the support of the ribs, it's going back on this tender loin area, and they don't have the support of the rib cage to help bear the weight of that saddle. And that's where you can get a reflex of the horse bucking, because he's trying to push that thing forward and get it off this tender area. Now, on an English saddle, it's really easy to tell exactly where the weight-bearing part of the saddle is and how it lines up with this area of hair growth. On a Western saddle, you can keep in mind that Western saddles usually have a large skirt that isn't necessarily weight-bearing. So on a Western saddle, you want to try to look for your tree, and that's the important part, that it's not going back past this point. The skirt, because it's not a weight-bearing area, can go a little past that. So, like I said, that's the number one thing to look for saddle fit for bucking. There's numerous other saddle fit things that could go into it, but we're not going to tackle all those today. So where we're going to go from here, I'm going to hop on her, and I'll just show you some really simple exercises for the next most common cause of bucking, which is the horse being behind your leg. Okay, so now we're ready to go over the under saddle stuff. So I picked Now to use for this video because when I first got her, she did have a little bit of a bucking problem. She was very cranky, and you'll probably see today, since I haven't really given her a warm-up, that she still can be cranky when I ask her to go forward and when I put my leg on, or even if I just ask with my seat. So she would, when I would do that, she would get really kind of backed up and tight and cranky, and that's when she would buck. So what I had to work on with her is getting her to move forward a little bit more and not be so behind my leg, so that when I put my leg on, she would go forward. Okay. I'm going to start by sending her into a walk here. So what you want with your horse is that when you ask them to move forward, they go. Now she seems like she's already pretty alert today. So she might not be the best demonstrator for you. But a lot of horses that buck for this reason, when you ask them to go forward, they won't go right away. So how do you fix that? You have to get after them a little bit so that you ask gently with your seat, you close your leg, and then when you don't get a response, you immediately give them a sharp little bump, 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 little kick with your legs so that they learn to go forward. And you want them to learn to go forward from that first light, soft response so that you're not here hammering on their sides every time you want them to go. So what that looks like here with her, I just ask with my seat and she goes forward. I can bring her back, ask with my seat, and she goes. So now if she wouldn't move forward, I would immediately give her a squeeze and then give her a kick so that she learns that the pressure keeps increasing when she doesn't respond and that she needs to go forward from that light contact because I'm going to be following it up with a heavier pressure. So I hope this video made sense. I hope it'll help. And in the comments, let us know if you've ever had trouble with bucking and if you were able to find the source and what you did about it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please share it, like it, and be sure to subscribe so that we can send you free weekly updates.